Okay, let's talk about one of my most anticipated games of the year, Assassin's Creed 3. I cannot wait for this game. We're finally moving away from Ezio and Altair's story, and we're going on into a new character's shoes. His name is Connor. He's half Native American, half English, and, well, he's going to go kill some British Templars by the looks of it. There's going to be George Washington. There's going to be fighting. There's going to be wars. There's going to be huge battles that you can get involved with. You can run through forests now and climb trees and hunt animals and fight bears. And basically, you're taking Assassin's Creed to the next level with Assassin's Creed 3. Your thoughts, guys?
Here's what I want to get first of all, is that, like, part of the thing that I loved about Assassin's Creed 1, 2, and Brotherhood, haven't played Revelation yet, sorry, didn't meet the budget, was that you could run through a city and just jump across rooftops, but as we know from just looking at pictures in history, America at this time was not built up to have cities, so...
No, they were just towns.
They were just towns and forests, so I don't know how I would feel just getting to jump through a forest like that, and also, I mean, how do you spread out the enemies to make it that there's this vast new world while still keeping it contained to a playable world?
I mean, that's a good point. I mean, I'm excited to see what they do with that because, you know, it was starting to get repetitive with Revelations. After Revelations, like, okay, they need to do something else. But then they came out with the whole, we're going to be having you be involved in big infantry battles. You're going to be able to go through the woods. You're going to be able to hunt, travel from town to town. Then I was like, okay, maybe they're actually going to innovate the series, and I'm interested. I mean, I really like Assassin's Creed. I want to get to know this new superb because we finished Ezio's story, finished Altair's story, which I think Revelations was a superb ending. So Revelations was an excellent ending to Ezio's story. I loved Revelations. It's up there with 2. I didn't really like Brotherhood so much, but 2 is one of my favorite games of all time, personally, and Revelations was up there with me. It wasn't as good as 2, but it was better than Brotherhood. So.
Also, I never played Revelation, so where are we with Desmond's story? Like, don't necessarily tell me what happened, but are we done with that? Or
oh no, we're just getting started with Desmond.
Yes, we're at the good part.
Yeah, here we go.
Okay.
But yeah, so what do you guys think about Forest? I know Thomas, as said, brought up the fact that, okay, well, how are they going to balance it all out? But Cameron, how do you feel about the forests?
Well, a few observations I made. The snowiest forest, when he's like running on the branches, you notice that like these branches are covered in snow, but yet when he jumps on them, no snow falls. This is
good observation.
I understand.
Pre-alpha footage.
Yes, I understand, but understand this. Like, if you're a guard and you're like watching and you see snow fall from the treetops, you're gonna look up. So from a gameplay mechanic, it's kind of hard to have the snow fall. Because it would look really silly if like a bunch of snow fell from the trees in front of a bunch of guys, but no one really cared.
But nobody cared. It's like, oh, whatever, nice.
So if they leave it
in the head, that's no big deal.
Yeah, like so if they leave it like it is right now, I can completely understand it, and I will forgive it.
Yeah.
A few other things is the gunplay in this game. It's really what got me interested. I'm a big gun nut, as far as you guys probably know. But what really got me curious about this is how the gameplay will change with firepower, as far as guns go. From the gameplay premiere, you can notice the part where he has pistols. The little bars above the HUD, above his pistols, they seem to slowly recharge, which makes me think you're not gonna have to sit around for a minute while reloading your pistols, which is
which kind of makes sense.
Makes sense, so you can still have the fast-paced gameplay. The hidden blade in this game is very cool, and
yeah, he like flips it out of his actual blade, and he can use it as a knife as well. And I like the idea of the longbow and the tomahawk. Since he's Native American, they should introduce new weapons that Native Americans did use.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think that's an interesting idea.
As I'm a 25% Cherokee, this game really makes me interested in my heritage. Even though he may not be Cherokee, he's probably something else.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, he's Cherokee. He's Cherokee. I think he is. Well, maybe he's Mohican. I'm not sure.
Either way, it's still pretty cool. Back to the story, though. If you notice in one of the trailers, he says, "I will fight the enemy on both sides," which makes you think there's probably Templars both on the American side and the English side.
British side, yeah.
So I'm thinking for the nice final showdown, you're gonna have to assassinate someone huge in history.
In the American side.
American side. So
yeah.
My question is like, what do you think they'll do with the Revolutionary War? Like, do you think he'll pick a side?
No, by the looks of it, you are going to be primarily fighting on the rebel side, but I think, like Cameron said, there is going to be a point where, because they've announced, here's what they've announced, it's going to take place. It starts out right around the French and Indian War. It's going to end sometime after the Revolutionary War. So I think if there's going to be a point when the British get defeated, you're going to have to start killing Americans because, you know, they're Templars too. Because there were Templars on both sides, so that's an interesting twist.
And then also, what's I gonna?
Ooh, the big battle. What do you guys think of the idea of being able to get involved in huge battles in history, fighting like lines of infantry?
In my personal,
I don't know. That's how they do it.
Thomas, you go first.
Yeah, Thomas.
Like the only thing is that like if it's just to where you're out there as one, we know from the other Assassin's Creed games that after a while, a couple enemies ganging up on you, you start to go down pretty fast.
Well, I mean, if you suck.
Just focusing on you. I don't know. I think after 20 guys, it gets kind of challenging.
Yeah, it does.
Maybe slightly repetitive.
Yeah, you know what I've noticed though that's kind of interesting though about this? You're going up against all these guys, and if you notice, when the soldiers, you know, get it ready, aim, and all the militia load their guns and point them at you, he grabs a guy and he uses it as a human shield so that when they shoot, they hit that body, and they have to reload. He runs into the line, then he just turns them into slices of ham. I mean,
yeah,
it looks very interesting.
The guns bring a brand new aspect to the gameplay. Makes me curious. Makes me curious if they ever make another Assassin's Creed that's further into the future, like maybe Western. How much the gunplay will change the game even further? Because I mean, the gunplay does change a lot of the gameplay at this point in history, but it's still at the point where, like, you know, bayonets on your rifle, so you still have melee combat. So
and he uses that. He's using the bayonet. He's using his tomahawk, his hidden blade, his bow. I think I'm really gonna like using the bow more than any like pistols or rifles. I think the bow is gonna be really nice because it's silent, it's quick, it's easy. There's no armor.
The crossbow in Brotherhood, that was pretty nice.
That was pretty nice. It's Revelations. It was just as good. Pretty awesome. I think it's on par with well, I mean, I must say that Assassin's Creed, Ubisoft has done a fantastic job with their CGI trailers for Assassin's Creed. I mean, you look at Assassin's Creed 2, where he's at the ball and he kills the guy. You know what I'm talking about? He shoots him with the gun. Yeah. Then you go to Brotherhood, where him and his boys attack the carriage. And then you go to Revelations, where he goes to the castle and he gets in that huge fight, and then they're gonna hang him, and he's just like, nope, you're not hanging me, and he head. And then this is also pretty neat. He goes out alone and takes on an army and is able to inspire the Americans to fight back. And
it reminded me of the Patriot.
Yeah, it did with the tomahawk, because didn't he use the tomahawk in the movie? The guy, Mel Gibson, didn't he use the tomahawk in that? Am I right?
So.
I think so, yeah. He did have a tomahawk in that movie.
Go, Thomas. You're the chosen one.
Go, Thomas. Waiting for you, boy.
I get my question again. God damn it.
Talking about tomahawks. Cameron, you talk till it comes back.
Yeah.
Okay, what I was gonna say is I'm gonna go ahead and call the parody of the cinematic trailer. Like when he's running through, one of the guys just randomly pre-fires his gun, like prematurely, and it hits him.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck? This cheating. Wait. Because honestly, military strategy back in Revolutionary War, these videos easily show the flaws.
Yes. You know, here's the thing. I think this is one of the big things why I think we did pretty good. Because if you know, in history, in the Revolutionary War, the British they tried to go through what is today Vermont, and what was it, the Green Valley Boys, Mountain Boys, whatever they were called. They were basically, they were terrorists of today. They were snipers. Like, they would ambush, they would, put trees on the roads, they slowed down the British army, and there were many times where they just killed the officers. And the British rules of engagement were you did not engage an officer on the battlefield. And we broke that rule lots of times. They were not happy about that. As we can see here, he goes straight for that officer. That's what he wants to get at.
And so my question finally came back to me. So as we know, like, most games have not gone much farther back in history than World War II. So if this game is successful, like Assassin's Creed usually are, would you consider this the first successful Revolutionary War game?
Yes, I would. I'm sorry. Looking back, there have not been very many Revolutionary War games. Never good. And never any really good Revolutionary War games. So I'm excited for what they do. George Washington looks like a badass. I can't wait. I love Assassin's Creed, and I'm definitely going to get it when it comes out.
Yeah, and I also have to agree that I do think this is gonna be a great, if not the best, Revolutionary War game. I can't really think of too many other ones at the moment, but
neither can I.
But
I'm about to Google that real fast. You guys keep talking. I'll tell you when I get it up.
All right, come on, guys. Let me go ahead and explain this to you. When Call of Duty releases its Revolutionary War version of Call of Duty, I think it's gonna blow away every game before it. Cause
yeah, I mean, can you just imagine think about the skill it will take to get a kill streak? I mean, you have to stare at a guy while you both reload your gun, and so you get triple sleight of hand and double sleight of hand, and it's like, oh god, he's got more powder than me. He's just a second. Oh, I'm dead, man. Or he 360 no scopes you, and like, man.
Yeah, it'd be you two running around in circles while you're reloading your musket. Like,
exactly.
Come on. You know, a dance of the analog stick.
Final kill cam, you kill the officer, and it's like rejected, negative 300 points, because the British don't like that.
Alright, so I looked it up, and what it is that there's a bunch of browser-based Revolutionary War games, and then there was one console one by the History Channel, and they decided to start making video games that didn't do too well at all.
Yeah.
It looked pretty bad. I think it was released back around, at least there was a video from it from 2010.
Yeah. Ooh, I want to say this to all the viewers out there. Thomas is half British, so Thomas, how do you feel killing half of your family?
But essentially, I mean, he's half British too, and he's the one who's actually doing the killing.
Yeah, but like, what do you think about that? You gotta go kill your great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-granddaddy. Although everybody here is British, technically, they're all citizens of Britain. But I think that's just an interesting.
Yeah, we're all related if you go back far enough.
Yeah, but Thomas is actually, his mom is British, so.
I mean, it doesn't really matter to me. One,
no.
It's a video game. Two, it's just, I mean.
But there's been a lot of complaints from British gamers saying, why are they choosing the American stories just to get money from the Americans? And I gotta say, I disagree. I mean, the American Revolution is a very interesting part of history.
I mean, if no matter what country you're from, when the war is over, you realize that there was one good guy and one bad guy. Like, if you talk to a German, they'll be kind of snotty about it, but they will say, yes, we were the bad guys, World War I and World War II.
Some of them do, yeah. Maybe not World War I. I will defend Germany in World War I. That was not fair what we did to them. But yeah, World War II, they were the bad guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and break that down a little bit further, in my opinion. Like, see, Thomas is on the British side of this with his heritage, and I'm more on the Indian side. So it'd be kind of cool to see different viewpoints with the gameplay. As far as British people, if they're complaining about this, I haven't heard too much about it, but obviously I can understand why.
Some of them, I'm not saying all British are, but some of them are.
But they have to understand, though, we're not only killing British people, we're also probably going to be killing Templars on the American side.
Yeah, that's the other thing. And that's the other thing. I mean, I think they're doing this part of history, too, because there was a lot of Templar activity in this point in history, and that's the next natural step after the Renaissance, really, is going to the New World. It's just natural after the Renaissance. Where else would you go?
I think the only person who has room to complain is that if you're still a Templar...
Yeah, sorry, dude.
And you might not like the Assassin's Creed series so much just to begin with.
Yeah, it's not really for you, man. I don't think you should be playing it. That's all I gotta say. Alright, final thoughts. Cameron, you go first.
Okay, to break this down a little bit further, like, the Freemasons at this point in history, how, like, all the Founding Fathers were pretty much Freemasons. I have a feeling this may actually play a big part into the story of the Templars.
Yes. Yeah,
so far the gameplay actually looks very interesting. I'm, like I said, I'm a gun nut, and I like to see how they've introduced the guns into the gameplay. The execution's very smooth. The gameplay very smooth. It looks good, and I'm definitely gonna be purchasing it. Connor as a character is also very unique. He's half, British, and he's half Indian. So he's rejected by his people, and he's also rejected by the British. So kind of like what Thomas is saying, he doesn't really have a side. He's kind of on his own for the most part. I mean, obviously he's gonna have allies and whatnot, and he's fighting kind of for his own cause. The assassin's cause. So I'm very curious about Connor as a character and Desmond's story. How that ending of Revelations, where
will play into the story, because I know spoiler at the very end of Revelations, Desmond goes, and you know that he is in North America. He's in New England when the story ends. So they kind of set that up for this, but, yeah. I mean, it's interesting to see where they're going to go with Desmond's story. Is he going to get more focus this time around, or are they still going to give him the short end of the stick?
Yeah.
I mean, Assassin's Creed 2, I give him...
Amazing game.
Yeah, I think 2 gave him a lot of focus on his storyline. And also 1 gave him flat out the most.
Oh yeah, well I mean 1 was an okay game to be quite honest. 2 though took it to a whole new level for me. 2 was awesome.
1 for its time, it really was a great game.
Yeah. And
it stayed it stayed one of the best games until 2.
Yeah. All right, Thomas, your final thoughts on Assassin's Creed 3.
It was a great game. I'll definitely be interested in getting it. I think I should probably play Revelations first.
I'll let you borrow it this fall.
It all depends on the budget again. That's why I never played Revelations. A lot of exciting games apparently out of E3. So.
And I want to make one last claim. If you're finished, Thomas. I think I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
No, good.
All right. Did any of us ever expect this from the original Assassin's Creed for a story like this? Because I remember playing the original Assassin's Creed. I'm like, oh, this is cool. DNA memory. Oh, that's pretty chill. But then now we got like these other civilizations and like
And we're on Assassin's Creed number 5? I mean, jeez Louise.
Yeah, Ubisoft did the smart thing. They ended Assassin's Creed 1 at a closing point where everyone's kind of like, okay, good, that's a good ending. But they also put it as.
There could be something more.
Yes, could something more happen because they didn't kill Desmond like they wanted to?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, my final thoughts real quick. I'm very excited to see how the forest and the guns and the big battles is going to play into the game. The new weapons look very interesting. I'm very excited to see what Connor is going to bring to the story. Yeah, that's basically all I've got to say. I'm very excited for this game. I hope it lives up to Assassin's Creed 2. Revelations did a pretty good job. I think it was lacking just a little bit. But that's just me personally. I hope that Assassin's Creed 3 is as good, if not better than 2. I know I'm asking for a lot, but I'm excited to see what they're going to do with this new time period and new weapons and new areas to cover. Alright, that's all I gotta say. And guys, let's just say this closes our E3 discussion. These are all the games that we're really excited for. I know we missed a few, but these are the ones that we're most interested in.
We might make some short videos about the other ones.
Yeah, we forgot about. Yeah, we probably will. I know we forgot about the Twilight game, and I'm very sorry about that.
Whoa! They made a Twilight game.
But so we'll be back later, and I hope you enjoyed this E3 coverage, and we'll be back next year with next year's E3.
And also, if you guys like us doing podcasts and stuff like this, we might start doing.
We'll do more. Let us know.
Every 2 weeks, one.
Let us know, and we'll probably do more.
Yeah, we'll start doing our own personal rants. Like, for instance, I'm kind of pissed off at DLC.
I'll do a Call of Duty rampage, and
Thomas can talk about cars and video games, and because that's what he specializes in. Thomas is our go-to racing guy.
Yeah, you know it.
All right, guys. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this, and we're signing out. Bye.
See you later.
Take it easy, guys.
Thanks for watching.